What is up, everybody? Welcome on in. How are we doing, chat? Hello, hello, hello. Oh my gosh, look at all the wonderful people there. What's up, Don? What's up, Justin? Izzy Q, hello. Fur, hello. Welcome on in, everybody. Fur, thank you so much for gifting a sub to Evan. That was very kind of you. Owen, hello. Liz, hello. Danny, Renee. Oh my God, there's so many wonderful people. Evo, Darwin, hi. Nat, hello. Renee. What's up, everybody? Guys, are you ready for such a fun stream? Oh my God. Hey, it's the lady from the billboard. Which one? Sarah, hello. Welcome on in. Thank you all so much for being here. What's up, Nightwalker? Oh my God, it is a party. You guys know what's happening today? Do y'all know what is happening today? We are doing the stream for the Kickstarter launch, and you guys are also going to be seeing the concept trailer for the new indie horror film Water Rites. And we are so lucky to have Dean Jacobs and Evan Sloan, who are actors and producers on the project as well. And Dean is the director and writer. So this is very exciting. This is a very exciting time. I, as a actor, Twitch streamer, love to be able to have you guys at the helm of the projects. And this is such a cool opportunity to be able to experience with you guys. So we are at the very beginning of this project, and you guys are gonna jump on it with us, and you guys are gonna watch it progress, and you guys are gonna be a part of it if you want to through the Kickstarter. And yeah, I'm excited to have you guys on this journey and on this stream. And we're gonna get Dean and Evan on very shortly, very soon. Chat interaction will be kind of minimal, as this is kind of gonna be a podcast style stream. So if I miss something in the chat, please know that I appreciate you being here very much. Aw, Fur, thank you so much for giving us up to Dean as well. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate you all very much. All right, cool. Well, without further ado, yes, the alerts will be off on the +1 stream. Yes, they will be off. Well, without further ado, let's go ahead and start this thing. Let's go ahead and bring Dean and Evan on. All righty. And boom, look at that. Yay. What's up? Hey, how are you guys doing?
Hey guys, hi everyone.
Hi.
Hello, chat. What's going on, everybody?
Yeah. So funny story, chat. I just found out that Evan actually is not new to Twitch. Evan actually streams on a Twitch channel for sports cards. And I didn't even know that was a thing. I now follow the channel. It's very interesting. So Evan's not new to Twitch. Dean is very new to Twitch. So be kind to him. But yeah, and so who in the chat was watching the trip with us last night in Discord? So you might see some familiar faces, which is so fun that we were able to do that. I did. Will be good. Me, I was there. I did. Oh, you were there too, Justin. Cool. Heck yeah. Cool. Awesome. So I would like to start with that first. So you guys know each other prior to this current film that we're working on, the Water Rites. You know each other from just that film, The Trip, or where does your guys's relationship, friendship, business partnership, where does that come from?
Hey, you want to go ahead? No, you can have it. You can have it.
Okay, so way back when we used to work at the ArcLight Theater in Hollywood, California. We were, I guess, what was our position? Ushers, I guess.
Man, I did a little bit of everything there.
Yeah, we did all that stuff.
We were cogs in a machine.
Yes, that's what we were. We used to work at a movie theater, and so there, a lot of especially it being in Hollywood, a lot of the people who worked there were actors or writers or directors or wannabe people in the industry, and we were so close to all of the people who would come through those doors. We're talking premieres were there, all sorts of celebrities were there, super famous theater if you've ever heard of it before. And so like a lot of collaboration amongst crew members happened there, and ours was one of them.
Yeah, ArcLight Hollywood is a really beautiful theater in downtown Hollywood. It's right on Sunset, I believe, and it has the Cinerama Dome, which is a historical landmark. It's this beautiful dome-shaped theater that they do all these premieres in, and it was just outside of the culture, the work culture, being in that physical space at ArcLight in Hollywood, being in like the mecca of filmmaking, just sort of felt magical. It sort of that place was sort of a landing pad for all the new people to come to Hollywood and Los Angeles and try to get their start in the business. So we were young and we were hungry, and it's a bunch of creative types working in this theater. So that was sort of the start of our friendship, our working relationship, and that is time when I started writing the script for the trip. Um, we had just myself and a few of my other filmmaking partners had just finished a short film, and the idea was to roll into a feature film. So I wrote this movie called The Trip with the intention of making it almost 10 years ago. And at the time I realized that I just wasn't in the position to get it done. So the script was shelved for a few years, and then it wasn't until COVID, the pandemic, that I was sitting on my couch just sort of lamenting the situation where it was like, why am I not doing everything in my power to get this movie made? And so that's what I started to do. I started to work day after day, one foot in front of the other. And I called Evan at one point and I was like, that script that we did a table read for like 8 years ago? Well, I'm going to try to make this movie now. Are you still in? And Evan was like, yeah, I'm in. And so, that was probably like 2, 3 years ago.
Yeah. That was probably the quickest "yeah, I'm in" I've ever given.
Yeah. I mean,
It was immediate.
the role was written for him, and once we start talking about water rights, that's sort of the same thing that I did with Katy. Again, bringing Evan back in, like I write to people's strengths, and I see you guys and the work that you do, and I know the things that you're capable of. So why not make my characters have some sort of semblance of the people that you are? Um, and so obviously it's a joy to be able to work with people like Evan and have opportunities for my friends and colleagues to, make art together. That's what we do. We tell stories and we make art and we put it out into the world. So I mean, to be able to do that is a real blessing, and to have had a friendship with Evan that has lasted over 10 years and we're making movies together is, something I really, really value.
Yeah, that's a great place to be in. And I am just honored to be a part of Water Rights with you both. Like I cannot wait. And I've told my stream a couple of times. If you've been here for years, you know that Dean and I worked on a Ring commercial, the home security brand like system, and that's how we met each
Oh
other
yeah.
7 years ago. We were both thieving, stealing packages off of doorsteps, and yeah, we that's how we met, just like on a whim. And then we just kind of stayed connected through social media. And then, yeah, several months ago, you just reached out to me and you're like, hey, I have this opportunity. I want you in a film. And I was like, what? And like, that's what's crazy about like LA and Hollywood and this industry is that you never know who you're going to meet, and you never know like who's thinking of you for certain projects or opportunities. And yeah, it could be 7 years later. And then all of a sudden you have this other opportunity because of working on a project with somebody. And yeah, it's incredible. It's so cool.
Yeah, it's really wild. I mean, it can be cliche to say like it's a small world, but it truly is. I mean, I was in the same room not knowing that Evan would be at auditions when we're going on to the same auditions. It's like, oh, hey, you're here too. And to stay in touch with somebody that like Katy that I worked on a commercial with years ago, it is a smaller world than you might expect.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So just for the folks watching right now, I want to get a little bit more into your guys' stories and beginnings in this journey here in the industry. So Dean, so you've been acting. When did you start turning into this like producing, directing, writing journey?
When I realized that if nobody else was going to give me the opportunities, I was going to create them for myself, and for the people that I respect and I know that they have talent. But the long story is that I started acting when I was a kid. I grew up in local theater. I was Pinocchio and Pinocchio, Charlie Bucket and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And then I took years off for education and for athletics. And it wasn't until after college that I decided to try my hand at acting again. And I was still living at Pittsburgh at the time, and there was an independent film that came through with Eric Roberts and Rachel Brosnahan in it. I auditioned. I didn't even have a headshot at the time. I used like a picture from my dad's birthday party. Um, got an audition, got a call back, booked the role, did a few more things in Pittsburgh, and I was like, well, if I'm gonna really try to make this happen, I'm gonna go to Los Angeles, and that's what I did, and that's right around the time that I met Evan and really started writing. Um, Writing had always been something that, nobody needs anybody else to write. So, I can spend my nights writing and crafting my stories, and if nobody ever sees them, then so be it. But if I work towards it and put the pen to paper, maybe years from now, I will be in a position to make something. So that was always a creative outlet that I always had that I kept to myself, whether or not I was ever able to share it or not. And it was, like I said, during COVID, where I was like, you know what, I'm going to try to make a movie. Um, and that's what I did. And here we are now, and we're about ready to make the second one.
And that movie, The Trip, it's anybody can watch it right now. It's out there. It released what, 2 weeks, a week ago, 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago.
Yeah, we had our streaming premiere on the Terror Films YouTube channel about 2 weeks ago on July 19th. Then the following Friday, July 26th, it was released on streaming pretty much worldwide. So right now it's available on like 7 different places: Apple TV, Vudu, a couple YouTube channels, Horror Entity YouTube channels. It'll be on Tubi soon, Amazon soon. So it's out there. It's getting really good reception. A lot of people really seem to enjoy it. So, it's a really rewarding feeling, I think, for both Evan and I, and yourself too, Katie. You're in the movie as well.
I know. I was like, guys, that's me. I didn't realize how much of a bitch she was. I was like, damn, dude. She's like, I don't want to call 911 and get that person. That she was horrible.
Yeah, I needed
Um,
help, and you were just like,
no, like what
sorry.
the heck?
Call back
Well, he's
tomorrow.
already dead. It doesn't matter. It's like, what the fuck is happening? But okay. So Evan, where did your journey
Yes.
start in the industry?
Well, so I moved out here to LA in 2010. I graduated college. I was a film student in New Jersey, and I moved out to LA, and I was working at some internship at an internet company where my job was to find viral videos before they went viral. This was a thing that like way back when, 14 years ago or something. So that was kind of a fun job. And then my goal was to come out here to do acting, pursue writing or directing or anything that I could get my hands on. And my career really started with commercials. So commercials was a big thing for me. I had a very specific look. A few years ago specifically, I had an afro, like a legitimate afro. And that got me in a lot of doors, so I had done commercials for the Grammys, I had done commercials for Coke Zero, for Kohl's, for Apple, for Amazon, all these big places. And then, similar to what Dean was saying, like I kind of just met with people and continued to have like a working relationship with some people, and I ended up getting into an independent film, and then from there I got into a couple of those those sci-fi channel movies. My first sci-fi channel movie was a movie called Earth-tastrophe, and I
Yeah.
remember I remember getting an offer. I hadn't auditioned for the movie. I had auditioned for the director before, and all of a sudden there was an offer. It was like, hey, we want to offer you this role. And I was on a flight back to LA like it was a thing that just happened to say at the perfect time. And I remember getting the email, and I just read the title of the movie, and I was like, I'm in. I don't even know what my character is, but I'm in. I'm in for the random ridiculous. I was just, plus it was a job, so I was excited.
Yeah.
So I said yes, and it turned out that my character was the exposition character, and I had like 140 lines in the movie, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is the most I've ever had to do." So, and of course, the lines are talking about six suns and portals and like all this random stuff. So it was a lot of fun to do that. So I ended up getting into the Sci-Fi Channel movies and a couple other things there. And then, yeah, I did a lot more independent films. And then just recently, I did get to shoot a scene. I got to shoot a scene with Jennifer Lopez on the movie Atlas, which just came out on Netflix. But as this industry is, and it's a little bit crazy, the scene that I was in ended up getting cut from the film. So as heartbreaking as it is, I don't need to see myself on screen to know that I had that experience. So yeah, my acting experience has kind of been all over the place. And now myself, I write, I direct as well, I produce, obviously, and yeah, I'm just happy to be creating again. I think what Dean was saying is that, like, when you first start in the industry, you just have like these dreams of like, oh, someone's gonna find me and they're gonna give me this life-changing opportunity. And the longer I'm out here, the longer I've realized that the only person who's going to give you the life-changing opportunity is yourself. So
Yep.
it's all about like believing in yourself and believing in um what it is that you can bring to the world. And if you believe in that so wholeheartedly, it's infectious. So I would say, like, it's been a good time. It's been fun, and it's exciting to get back into creating another feature film and doing something for everybody to watch.
Yeah. Speaking of, I think we should talk a little bit about water rights. Dean, do you want to kick it off?
Water rights. Yes. Water Rights follows the story of a young Los Angeles couple that decides to get away from their workaday lives for the summer and head up to a secluded lakefront community nestled high in the San Bernadino mountains. However, upon their arrival, they find out that they may be less than welcome from the locals, and after uncovering some of the secrets of the locals, they may be on a trip they won't be able to return from. That couple is one half Katy Bentz and one half Dean Jacobs, and that's their story. It's sort of basically an ode to classic folk horror films. The Wicker Man, if anybody has seen that, is a really beautifully shot, aesthetically creepy 70s horror film. I also like the term pastoral horror. I don't know if anybody uses it, but it has a certain ring to it. Midsommar is another good example of a good folk horror. And so I wanted to sort of play into that simple setting, quiet setting, outsiders entering a world that they know nothing about and getting into deep. So that's the impetus for the story.
And at this point, I think we should show the trailer, the concept trailer.
Yes.
Yeah?
Shit.
Are y'all ready? Do you guys
Good.
want to see the concept? Well, actually, we just got an ad, so let's wait 3 minutes. It just says an ad's
Okay.
in
Okay,
progress.
perfect.
So, all the
Perfect,
folks
perfect.
out there who aren't subbed, we still want you to also watch the concept trailer. So, we're just gonna talk a little bit for 3 more minutes.
The hell?
I have a question actually for you, Dean. So
Yeah.
just coming off of watching the trip again, and just going off of like all of our pre-production for water rights, you like history. You like
Do.
history and you like finding these crazy stories that haven't been talked about before, and you put those into scripts. Is that something that you're gonna continue doing? Like, is that something that you want to kind of have as like a trope for your writing?
You know, I don't really make any commitments to what's going to happen in the future or the next project, but it's definitely something that I like to do. And it's like a tapestry, you know. You add little pieces to it to make it all that more rich. And so if you can add a little bit of truth into your fiction and just another layer for the audience to sort of, sink their teeth into, it just adds something to it. And so yeah, I really like that historical context and to be able to find little tidbits that you can take from real life and put them into the stories that you tell.
Yeah. No, it's just awesome. It was
Yeah,
great.
and speaking of, before we show this trailer, talking about I pull from real life experiences and historical events. A lot of the things that happen in water rights are based on my own personal experiences. I had a friend that lived in Lake Arrowhead, California, this small resort community, for almost 10 years, and I would go up on the weekends and hang out, and we'd go to the lake, and I just sort of started noticing things and some weird goings on, and I started, fomenting the story in my head. And so that's where Water Rights came from, was my personal experiences in this small town, Lake Arrowhead.
Yeah. And for those of you who are just tuning in, I see some new folks coming in. What's up, D? Hi. We are doing our we haven't even talked about the Kickstarter yet, which I'm so stoked about. But today we are doing a Kickstarter launch stream and showing the concept trailer for Water Rights, a new indie horror film that is produced by all three of us here, and we are also the lead actors in it as well. So very, very excited to have you guys here. And we've got about 30 seconds, and then we'll be playing the concept trailer, which I'm excited about. And yeah, you sound great in it, Evan, by the way.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah.
My voice is buttery, as they say.
It really is. Some of those like especially at the end too, like when you're in that like creepy man character in the trip, I'm just like, oh my god, his voice is just like booming. It's like perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
You do voiceover?
I do, but I don't have any representation for it.
Mood. Yeah.
I've always wanted to like play in that space. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. It's a great voice. All right, without further ado, guys, here is the concept trailer for Water Rights.
There?
I think so. Half hour maybe.
Okay.
Excited?
Yeah. Yeah, I think this will be good for us. Oh my gosh.
What is this?
There's snow. There's snow on the mountain.
Listen. These people, the locals, they're pretty set in their ways. All I'm saying, don't go sticking your nose where it doesn't belong. You know?
Way down there.
Best to stick to yourselves.
All summer.
Don't make waves. Just some friendly advice.
Hey, let's bring you guys back on there. So yeah, guys, that is the concept trailer there for Water Rights. Yeah, Dean, you edited that, right?
I did.
So
Yep.
good. So good, so good. Yeah, let us know what you guys thought in the comments in the chat about it. Let us know what you thought. Yeah, so that's basically to kick off our Kickstarter. If you want to talk a little bit about the Kickstarter and reasonings for having a Kickstarter for indie features, go for it, Dean.
Yeah. We have some experience doing this because we had to raise additional funds for our first film, The Trip. And with indie filmmaking, it's guerrilla filmmaking. It's gonna be a struggle to get it made because you don't have the backing of a major studio or some investor that's gonna come throw $10 million at your film. You have a script, you have a group of people that is committed to getting the film made, and you put it out into the world and you hope that other people show some interest in it, and support you along the way. So a lot of indie filmmakers go to Indiegogo or Kickstarter to help raise funds for their films. For The Trip, we raised almost $25,000 on Kickstarter, and it went a long way to making that film what it was. I mean, the budget for the trip was only essentially like $60,000. And for anybody that has seen that movie, at least in my estimation, to be able to do what we did with $60,000 and to rival, you know, movies that are made for hundreds of thousands, even millions of dollars, I think that's a testament to our ability as filmmakers. But it still requires help from the people that support us, friends, family, community. So that's why Kickstarter is a great platform to showcase your work, garner interest, and hopefully raise some funds to help get the movies made. I mean, Evan, you can speak to this. We worked really hard on the trip, and we made a good film, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if I can just say one thing that I think everyone here can attest to is that it seems as though with movies that are being released into theaters and movies that are coming out right now, a lot of it's being focused on IPs that are already existing. We're talking Shrek 7 and Deadpool vs. Wolverine and all of these sequels, prequels, all of that's the only stuff that's coming out, it seems. And from my own personal experience in trying to get feature films made, I've realized that no one's willing to take any risks anymore. Studio heads, people with money aren't willing to take risks anymore because they don't know if it's going to happen or if it's going to work. So, in my opinion, and I think a lot of other people's opinion in the industry, we're going to see a rise in indie filmmaking, in where you have these amazing talents, you have these amazing people all across all different aspects of filmmaking, whether it's on the production side or whether it's in the acting side or whatever it is. And you're going to see those people taking the reins and creating because they are supposed to create. And I feel as though there's a lot of studios and there's a lot of things out there that's not allowing people to create or not giving people the platform to create. So we're leaning on our friends, people who love art, people who love movies, to help us make that a reality. So we're essentially making a movie for everyone else to enjoy. We want to make it because we want to do the art, but we're making it because this is our opportunity to do it. And if we get support from you guys or we get support from wherever, then that just means that you guys love it too, and we want to make it for you as well. So that's how I feel about
Yeah.
it.
And to speak a little bit more on what Evan's saying, and Katie, I could assume you could attest to this. Um, People looking for outlets to express their creativity and show their art, and I would imagine that the Twitch community and all of these influencers found that space in Twitch and places like Twitch to put art out into the world where gatekeepers in other places haven't allowed them to do so. Am I right about that?
Yeah, no, definitely. I feel like well, for me, like I intertwine all of that together. Like that's how I've built my brand, over the last 7 years is coming live on Twitch and garnering a community and people of like-minded, we all enjoy the same things, we think the same way, and they're able to come along on these journeys with me, and I'm able to present my projects with them, and they get excited about it together. And then other people who, especially with Life is Strange, they come through to the stream because they enjoy Life is Strange and then they're here. And so with bringing projects like an indie horror feature to Twitch and saying, hey, like I'm doing this is exciting. Some people might find it, right? Some people that might not even have found my Twitch community might find it, and then they become part of my Twitch community and vice versa. Like, because I know there's a lot of people that love indie films, especially horror films in this community. And they've been excited about past films that I've done, that they've become memes in my community, and I look forward to this becoming part of my Twitch lore, and something that we can all enjoy together. So I think you are 100% accurate in that. Yeah. And if you guys want to click, there's a link popping up in the chat. It's the command water rights. It's also on a timer. It is the Kickstarter link. I'm going to show you guys that link. And if you want to talk a little bit about the Kickstarter and how people can help and what their money is going to go towards as well. And I will show you guys that.
I think, Katie, it was you that was mentioning being able to involve the community in what we're doing. That's part of the fun, filmmaking, especially indie filmmaking, is a long, sometimes arduous process, but it gives us the opportunity to pull back the curtain a little bit and be able to show, how the bread's getting made or whatever the saying is. And so with the Kickstarter campaign, obviously it's a way to help support the filmmakers, the artists make their art, but it's a way to get the community involved in the process as well. um, there's opportunities to see yourself in the film. Katie's going to be doing a video diary while we're filming, which is basically just going to be a behind the scenes view of the filmmaking process through her eyes, through her perspective. And that's a tier on the Kickstarter campaign. There's a lot of opportunities to, have special thanks, see your name in the end credits, just be involved in the process. And like I said, indie filmmaking, anything can happen. So to be able to peek behind the curtain and see all the chaos and the fun and the adventure that comes with making an indie film, an indie horror film especially, is a lot of fun to be involved with. So, I mean, take a look. I tried to put something there for everyone, if you're interested in being on camera, if you don't want to be on camera but would like to get some acknowledgement for your contribution, there's a lot of different ways to be involved. Sign posters, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, and the $25 is the lowest the tier we have. So if you're not able to back, more than that, $25 helps a ton. And I mean, we do, we are a community of charity streams too, and we know how much money goes and how far it goes when it's stacked on top of things too. So yeah, but there's also so many different other, like, there's so many tiers, it's insane. So a lot of different options for you guys to be a part of the film and yeah, I don't know. And for me, I personally think it's so rad that, like, if anybody does like the special thanks bundle, and I know there's other tiers that have the special thanks in it too, like, it's so cool that you guys will have your name in like one of my movies that I'm in. Like, I think that's just so cool. Like, our names will be in the credits together, and I just think that's awesome. And I'm really stoked about this video diary as well. I think that's going to be really fun too. The walk-on roll. Can you talk a little bit about the walk-on roll and the visit to the set, Dean?
Yeah, definitely. We did that for the trip, and had a few people come from sort of a few different spots in the country. Somebody flew from California to Pittsburgh to be in the trip. Someone flew from Minnesota, Jason, if you're watching, be in the trip. And it's an opportunity to, have a small role with potentially one of the main cast members, possibly put you in a scene with Katy or myself or Evan or all of us. But it's a chance for you to be on camera, say a couple lines in a feature film, see your name in the credits, and be part of the movie making process. Um, so, acting on camera is not for everybody, but it is something that people get a little tickle out of. If it's something that you're interested in, we'll fly you to we won't fly you to California. If you get to California, we'll put you up, we'll put you in this movie. And it's something you have for the rest of your life,
Could you tell me who in the trip was a walk-on role? What
Yeah,
actors? What characters?
In the haunted house scenes, when Luke Edwards' character Sam is first introduced and the guy comes up and he's like, "Hey
Oh,
boss, heading out for the weekend," that was a walk-on role.
cool.
Same with
Yep.
the other woman when his girlfriend is leaving. She's getting in her car and pulling away from the haunted house, and the girl's like, "Oh, I think it stopped raining. You're good to go." That's another walk-on role.
Cool.
And
That's
then the
So
guy
it's
who
awesome.
not like
bumped
I'm,
into
it's
you,
not
right?
like I'm gonna stick you in the deep background, and you're like, "Oh, I think that's me." No, I'm gonna give you some lines. You're gonna interact with the main characters, and you're gonna be a part of this movie.
Yeah.
Or you're literally gonna bump into Dean, the other guy. That was the other guy. He literally bumped into you, and that was another walk-on role.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
While I'm on the Kickstarter, we haven't talked about Lynn Lowry yet. Could you talk a little bit
Oh
about
yeah.
her involvement?
Lynn, is a horror icon. I mean, if you look at the trip, I was very specific in my casting of some of the cameos. Um, Doug Bradley, who plays the gas station attendant in The Trip. He's best known as playing Pinhead in the Hellraiser franchise, the guy with all the needles in his face. That's Doug Bradley.
I
Lori
didn't know that.
Cardille, who plays, yeah. So that's a huge get as far as the horror community goes.
Yeah.
Lori Cardille, who played my mother in The Trip, she's the lead actress from George Romero's Day of the Dead. Anna Fierman, who plays Sam's girlfriend in The Trip, is from the found footage horror film VHS. And so
Mhm.
that's the way I like to cast those smaller supporting roles. And that's why I reached out to Lynn Lowry. Lynn Lowry has been working consistently in horror since the early 70s. She's done schlock exploitation films, and she's also done sort of the more mainstream horror films. But she got her start in I Drink Your Blood, and then quickly went on to work with Cronenberg in Shivers. If you're not familiar with David Cronenberg, he's done The Fly, Shivers, Scanners, Videodrome, Dome, A History of Violence. He's huge. And then after that, Lynn had a role in George Romero's The Crazies. Everyone, or I would think most people, know George Romero: Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, The Crazies, Dead Time Stories, Creep Show. I'm from Pittsburgh. George Romero is on a high, high shelf for me as far as filmmakers go. Um, and so to have Lynn Lowry read the script, agree to be a part of the film is huge. And she's got a really juicy role in this film. And I really can't wait to show everyone what we have in store for her. But to have Lynn as part of the film was a big get for us, so I'm really stoked about that.
So yeah, on the Kickstarter, you guys are able to learn about the cast. You guys can learn about the story. We've already kind of talked about it, but you guys, there's also a video on here, a Kickstarter video with myself, Evan, and Dean, going a little bit into basically what we're talking about today and how you can get involved and the importance of helping through Kickstarters for indie projects. Talks a little bit about the production company, and then of course the story. And then you can learn about the cast and the creative team too, which is really awesome. And you had some folks from the trip who are coming back for Water Rights, correct?
Yeah, definitely. Filmmaking, if it's done right, can be a family. And that's what we walked away from the trip feeling like we were a family. We were a group that came together that put all their effort and their heart into something and made something really special. And so why not try to keep that core group together moving forward? You know, we have a working relationship and a personal relationship now. So why not keep all those talented, creative people together on to the next thing? And if I am ever in a position to offer somebody a job that needs a job that I like working with, I will absolutely do that. And, with Evan, it's like, we were friends first. I wrote a script for him, for us, and brought him on as a producer for the trip. We worked well together. We made a great movie, and we're doing it again. So yeah, why not work with the people that you like to work with and you like to be around and know are talented and know are committed to making this thing that we're all doing. So that is the goal. Yeah, both our cinematographers are coming back. A lot of our producers are coming back. I anticipate flying most of my crew out here. Ben, Ethan, Riles, anybody that's listening to this, you're coming to Los Angeles and we're making a movie again together.
Heck yeah. I just noticed the outtake thing. I didn't see that before.
Yeah.
I haven't even watched that. That's funny. That's from the Kickstarter video. Oh God.
Yeah.
Fun.
Oh yeah. I mean, I still have those videos. I
I
might
love
drop
that.
another surprise
Guys,
video on you.
yeah, watch this video. That's awesome. And then we've got, yeah, the rewards, what you guys get all laid out here, the different tiers here so you guys can see. I mean, this thing is packed.
Yeah, we've got a good base already started for this film. A lot of these Kickstarters and Indiegogos you see, they're sort of starting from square one. But what I did with the trip, my last film, and what I did with Water Rights is that I built the base of everything. I put the cornerstones in place, the base investments, so that we're not starting from square one. We have a base to get us going, but now I'm reaching out to a broader community to push us over the finish line, to take this from a good film to a great film with all of your help. Um, so no matter what, this movie's going to get made. It's a matter of the means that we have to make it. And with more investments, more capital to work with, we can spend more money on, the fancy equipment. And one of those things that is mentioned in the Kickstarter is cast members. They're cast members. There's still a couple people I have left to cast. And if I have enough of a budget, I can reach out to those Doug Bradleys and those horror icons, and I can offer to pay their rates, which is what we were able to do with the trip. So any and all funds that go into the Kickstarter will get put to good use, whether it's paying for food for people for a day, or paying my cast or crew, or getting one of those horror name icons in this movie. Your money will be well spent.
Yeah.
And I just want to say thank you to Mitch and Fur, because they have pledged, which is awesome. So thank you so much to you both. That's freaking awesome, and I can't wait to have you guys be a part of it, and to have like Fur and Mitch, to have your guys' name in the credits. Like, that's so cool. And yeah, so that's awesome. So thank you both so much.
Thank you guys. What were you saying, Evan?
Guys, I was just gonna say, there's a name that I know that I want so bad in this movie. Dean and I have talked about it. I want so bad in this movie. I don't want to say what it is yet, because if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But there's a name I want so bad in this movie, and if we can get it,
I'll say it.
Yeah.
Well,
go ahead.
Assuming it's who we've talked about and you're thinking of. Things change and people drop out and get added onto projects. But we have received some interest from the actress that plays the nun in all the Nun movies.
I just got chills.
Same
just
here.
Just her look alone is perfect for one of these roles that we still have. That's not to say that it's definitely going to happen, but if we have the budget, she has expressed interest in the role. So it's not out of the realm of possibility to get her in this film.
What's really cool too is that, so this budget, it helps pay for the actors, right? And it helps pay for these bigger name actors and these movie trope actors. So if you back this film, you know that you had a part in one, like you could have a part in potentially the nun, the person who is the actor for the nun, being in this movie. And like, you can like take that with you to your grave and be like, that's cool, I did that. And like, that's awesome, So yeah, and even like Lynn Lowry, like also somebody that we have to pay for, because like she's amazing, and you have to put that money out there for that. So like Mitch and Jen, like you guys have made that happen. So thank you.
Thank you guys so much.
You guys. One of the rewarding things, and what I use as sort of an early indicator to know that I'm sort of onto something or I've written a good script, is when I send it to people, when I send it to someone like Katy and I get good feedback. But there is a lot of gatekeeping when it comes to getting in touch with these larger actors, the nun from all the Nun movies. You have to go through multiple levels of people and convince an agent and convince a manager before you even get to that person, that actor. So to get through those gatekeepers with, your elevator pitch or a part of the script that tells you enough that, you have a good idea and it's interesting to people, and then to be able to get that script into the hands of the actor that you want, and then to get feedback from that actor saying, if you can meet my rate, I'll probably be in this movie. That tells me we have a good story to tell.
Yeah.
Sure.
And the script is so good. I'm just gonna like say it outright. It is, for Water Rights, it's really good. And the way that, and I told Dean this, that his writing reminds me of the writing from Life is Strange, for me at least, for True Colors, because it's so easily, like, it's just easy for me to say it. It's easy for me to just like have those words come in my mouth. It's not like a weird, uncomfortable feeling when you're reading those lines. It's just a natural conversation you're having with people. And I think that is like such a hard thing to do as a writer, is to make it natural. Because yeah, so many times, like, and I'm sure you guys can understand this, like Evan and Dean, when we get scripts, it's like, dude, who wrote this? This isn't how anybody would say anything. What the fuck, right? And it's like painful to do the audition because it sounds like shit. You're like, this doesn't even sound good. Yeah, and yeah, it's hard. It's hard to be in those films. And like the past stuff that I've been in too, like I'm not necessarily proud of those things because the writing was just garbage on those movies. And so it's nice to be looking forward to something where I can be like, okay, I'm going to be very proud of this because I'm going to feel good about my acting because the writing is good. So, yeah.
You know, I just to attest to that, like I have an insane story about a movie that I did that was another one of those like sci-fi channel kind of movies.
Is it The Asylum, by the way?
It is The Asylum.
Yeah,
yes,
I was in an asylum movie too, so I get you.
So there you go. So you know the experience.
Yes.
But I was doing an asylum film where this just goes to show you like what we're doing is great comparatively. Right now, this is a movie that made it to TV, that made it everywhere else. And day one of filming of this movie, I was a production assistant. When I got there, the lead actress, the director, and the antagonist of the film quit. Day one, before anything rolled. And so the production manager was like, Evan, we want to offer you the role of the antagonist. And I was like, I'm a PA, dude. Also, what's the name of the movie? I don't know what I'm doing right now. I don't know any of the lines. I don't know anything. So then we spent the next, I think it was 12 days shooting this movie where we didn't know because the script was changing. We ended up having to, the beginning of every day, all the actors would sit in a car together and we would literally rewrite the scenes so that they made sense. And now this is a movie that made it to TV. And so we all would watch that thing and we're like, this is the worst thing that we've ever seen in our entire life. How it got made is a I don't know, a miracle. But so that's something that made it to TV. This is something where we're proud of the writing. We're proud of the people who are going to be in it. We know the crew. We know what we're all capable of. And we're not going to have to sit there and rewrite each scene in a car the day before we shoot. So this is the really exciting thing about, you know, doing a movie where you're excited about the material. You know, Katy, what you were just saying about how many times do you go into an audition and you're like, this is going to be a commercial. This is going to be on TV. Who this got past how many people, you know? So this is our opportunity to just say, screw everyone. This is what we want to tell. This is what we're going to do. And it's going to be great.
Yeah. And that's why I write roles for my friends and the people that I know are talented. And that's why I think that I'm a good writer is because I hear how people talk and I write for the people that I know. And for this film, Water Rights in particular, this is a vehicle for Katy Bentz. This is top billing for Katy to be able to showcase the talent that I know she has, and I'm sure you all know she has, but the industry hasn't necessarily given her that opportunity to be a lead actor in a feature film. But I know she's capable of it, so write her a fucking role, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's how we get the people we know are talented in front of the eyes of the people that want to see it, is create the opportunities. So I hope with Water Rights, you know, when this is all said and done, when we're looking back on this movie a year or 2 years from now, you all and we all can say, oh man, Katy was fantastic in that movie. That ensemble as a whole was great. I didn't know prior to this film that Katy was capable of all that. So hopefully Water Rights lets the world know that Katy Bentz is a really talented actor.
Oh, you're going to make me cry. Please. Thank you, Dean. I am seriously so honored. I appreciate it very much. And I'm just so pumped to be working with you two because, again, it's going to be such a good ensemble. And I can't wait to see the other actors that we bring on and to see how it all comes together. For those of you who've just tuned in, I think I want to play the concept trailer for you guys one more time in case anybody else missed it. So we're going to bounce over and show you the concept trailer for Water Rites, a new indie horror film that we are acting in and producing, and Dean is directing and writing it as well. And yeah, exclamation Water Rites will get you the link to the Kickstarter. All right, here it is again.
Enjoy.
We almost there?
Think so. Half hour maybe. Excited?
Yeah. Yeah, I think this will be for us. Oh my gosh.
What is this?
There's snow. There's snow on the mountain.
Listen. These people, the locals, they're pretty set in their ways. All I'm saying, don't go sticking your nose where it doesn't belong. You know?
Way down there.
Best to stick to yourselves.
All summer.
Don't make waves. Just some friendly advice.
Dang. Let us know what you guys thought about the concept trailer. Again, that's to get you guys excited about what we're making, about what we're doing, to give you guys a little bit of taste of what you would be backing on Kickstarter. Again, you can click that link, exclamation Water Rites, will get you the link to the Kickstarter. Also, if folks out there just don't have money because, you know, we're kind of in like a weird recession and there's not a lot of money coming in, share this everywhere. Just share it. Just share it around. You know, whenever I post about it, reshare it, tweet it out, post it. Maybe you have friends or family that enjoy horror movies, indie horror movies, and they enjoy stuff like this. Send it to them. Just get the word out there. So there's tons of different ways to support what we're doing here if you're not able to support financially. And we appreciate it all the same. Yeah. Well, this has been so fun. I appreciate you both being here on my stream. I look forward to the rest of this campaign. It's going to be a 60-day campaign. So you guys have until the end of September if you want to back it, if you're not able to now.
Yeah, this might not be the last time you see our faces on this Twitch stream. We might give an update when we're about halfway through this campaign. But preemptively, thank you. You know, thank you for your support. Thank you for your support financially, spreading the word. Word of mouth is how indie films get in front of their audiences. So just thanks for taking a couple minutes today to be with us and playing along here on the Twitch stream. We appreciate you. We can't do what we do without people like you. So thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you very much. Also, I see D Lane Derek is in the chat. He was one of the associate producers. One. He said, "Looks great. Happy to support. Can't wait to see you all on set." I love it.
Love it.
Good to see
Thanks,
you, man.
Derek.
Good to see you. Thank you so much, Derek.
Yeah, and if anybody out there also wants to follow along on any of the socials, you guys, we have a Facebook, an Instagram, and a Twitter, and you guys can click those links right there. Boom. So that's all the Water Rites social media. Dean's very active on it, so there's lots of things, lots of little tidbits being posted from time to time, so you guys can go and amp those up and support that way as well. But yeah, well, at this point, we are going to go to a BRB screen. I'm going to go and see Dean and Evan off. But thank you guys again so much for being here, and I'll be back very, very soon. BRB,
Thanks,
everybody.
guys. Support.